Renderings don't fail. They float above timelines, immune to mud, delays, and math. Real megaprojects meet ground pressure, politics, and physics, and that's where billions evaporate. Tonight we're pulling the protective plastic off 10 headline projects that torched budgets, slipped years, or shrank to save face. For each, we'll show the promise, the painful pivot, and the lesson a smart builder or policymaker would steal tomorrow. Because the most expensive errors repeat quietly, optimism beats evidence, scope expands while schedules shrink, and governance blurs accountability until nobody's steering. We'll also ask the only question that matters before the first shovel hits dirt: what will it take to walk away if the numbers turn against you? Boston's Central Artery/Tunnel, better known as the Big Dig, promised to untangle traffic by burying an elevated highway. The 1991 price tag hovered near $2.6 billion, final construction costs landed around $14.6 billion, with debt service pushing the life cycle bill past $24 billion. Unknown utilities, soft soils, design changes, and fragmented contracting bred leaks, lawsuits, and delays. Lesson: underground means uncertainty. Price geotechnical risk honestly, centralize accountability, and freeze scope early, or your contingency becomes the project plan. Berlin-Brandenburg Airport was supposed to open in 2011 for about €2.0 billion. It finally welcomed passengers in 2020 after exploding towards €7 billion. The villain wasn't a single part, it was integration, miles of mislabeled cables, a smoke extraction system that couldn't pass code, and a board stacked with politicians instead of a seasoned general contractor. Lesson: complex systems fail at the interfaces. Give one accountable leader design build authority, test early, and treat fire safety as a project within the project. California high-speed rail launched in 2008 with a $33 billion San Francisco to Los Angeles promise. Land takings, environmental litigation, utility relocations, and design churn pushed estimates above $100 billion while the initial build shrank to a 171-mile Central Valley starter. Political resets added years, inflation did the rest. Lesson: don't blueprint a statewide dream before you own the right-of-way. Lock corridors early, deliver operable segments that create benefits now, and insulate engineering decisions from election cycles. Britain's HS2 sold speed and capacity for the spine of England. Original costs near £33 billion swelled toward, and arguably beyond, £100 billion, prompting cancellation of the northern leg. Tunnels under fragile chalk, relocating utilities at scale, station redesigns, and shifting political guardrails compounded risk. Lesson: optimism bias is structural. Use reference class forecasting from day one, publish P50 and P95 cost ranges, and protect contingency from raids. If you can't fund the whole, design each phase to stand alone. Mexico City's cancelled Lakebed Airport, NACM, began as a 6-runway showpiece for a congested capital. By 2018, roughly $5 billion was sunk, contracts were live, and runways were forming when a referendum halted work. Soft soils, subsidence risk, procurement doubts, and political turnover collided. Bond buybacks and termination fees added to the bill as operations shifted to a cheaper alternative. Lesson: site geology and stakeholder legitimacy outrank renderings. Price cancellation paths early, otherwise sunk cost will steer you. France's Flamanville 3 nuclear reactor, first-of-a-kind EPR design, ballooned from about €3.3 billion to more than €13 billion, with commissioning dates slipping over a decade. Welding defects, documentation gaps, supplier quality issues, and regulatory resets stacked delay upon delay. Lesson: prototypes don't scale on hope. Standardize design, qualify the supply chain before breaking ground, and build in series to drive learning curve costs down. If you must go first, budget years and billions for learning you can't outsource. Across the Atlantic, the Vogtle 3 and 4 reactors in Georgia crawled from roughly $14 billion to around $35 billion all in, surviving contractor bankruptcy and cascading rework. EPC fragmentation, immature designs, and quality lapses forced schedule resets that inflated financing costs. Lesson: risk transfer on paper doesn't remove risk in practice. Align design maturity with construction start, keep an owner's integrator with teeth, and fund contingencies sized for capital-intensive delays, not just bad weather. Germany's Stuttgart 21 promised to replace a terminus station with a sunken-through station and free up development land. Costs climbed from about €2.5 billion toward €10 billion amid citizen protests, tunneling complexity, and reworked timelines. Benefits, capacity, urban land value, remain contested against ecological and noise concerns. Lesson, even smart rail needs social license. Publish benefit cost assumptions, rerun them when scope shifts, and treat community consent as a milestone equal to any engineering package. Sochi's 2014 Winter Olympics required building a city from scratch, mountain venues, coastal park, new power and rail. The bill landed near $50 billion, far beyond typical games, with allegations of overpricing and weak post-games utilization. Venues and roads exist, many sit underused. Lesson, events compress time but not physics. When deadlines are immovable, quality, cost, or future value will pay. Design legacy operators first, scale venue ambition to post-event demand, and turn temporary where you can. Dubai's The World Archipelago mapped the globe in sand. After the 2008 crisis, progress stalled, islands eroded, and only a handful developed as planned. Palm Jebel Ali paused for years too. Capital cycles, maintenance of reclaimed land, and shifting buyer appetite turned a viral concept into a slow-burn balance sheet item. Lesson, demand risk is real even for icons. Stagger phases, finance with patient capital, and budget lifetime dredging and armoring, not just the opening party. Patterns emerge. Big visions die not from a single bad bet but from stacked small ones, soft soils underestimated, utilities uncounted, contracts sliced until no one owns the whole, and timelines set by press conference, not path of critical work. The fixes are unglamorous and powerful. Freeze scope before ceremony. Fund independent cost reviews and publish ranges, not single numbers. Buy geotech like insurance. Stage gates with kill switches. Standardize where pride tempts prototypes. Separate political oversight from technical command. Design usable first phases that earn cash and trust. And when reality diverges, stop sooner. Sunk cost is not strategy, salvage is. The painful lesson of every billion burned is simple, courage at the start or courage at the stop. Choose one. And live with a better legacy, forever.